All right, thanks so much, Mike. On September 11th, thousands of people lost their loved ones in an instant, and they had to figure out how to cope.
Well, Fox 5's Heather Nauert takes a look at how three women came together to help each other.
I lost my fiance, Michelle, on TWA Flight 800. He was a Harvard hockey player. Peter was someone who was very determined, very ambitious, full of life.
Michael was a great guy. He was called MIA. He was always missing in action because he wanted to come home to me.
Three women united by tragedy all face the sudden loss of their partner. Heidi Snow was devastated when her fiancé Michelle was killed on TWA Flight 800. To cope, she spoke with someone who had been through a similar loss.
I met a fiancé from Pan Am 103 who had been through it before, who really got it.
From that experience, Heidi formed the group Access, matching people who've dealt with the sudden loss of a loved one with those just beginning to grieve. 5 years after the TWA tragedy, Heidi was at ground zero in the days following 9/11. That's when she met Monica Eichen.
Wanted to get here early, for my husband, Michael Eichen, who's missing, who was in Tower 2, 84th floor. It was comforting to have someone who went through the same thing earlier than I did.
The group Access was also a comfort to Karen Carlucci. On September 11th, she was making final wedding plans to marry Peter Frank. He died in Tower 1.
You lost like a whole, future that you imagined. So when I connected with those other young women, that really made a difference.
July marked 15 years since the TWA crash, and Heidi returned to the Long Island Sound for a memorial.
We just know. We look at each other and we know. And we all remember the day our lives were changed in an instant.
Heidi's telling her friends what it's like to attend such a public event.
Some people want to be more involved in the memorial service. Some people like to be alone. The public nature of it can make it uncomfortable. I'll be down here at the site for the anniversary. I don't come down here every year, but the 10th year, I think it's important.
This is actually a joyous time for me. I cannot wait to tell people this is the world-class memorial museum that they've been waiting for. It's amazing.
With help from the group Access and their friends and family, Heidi, Monica, and Karen have all learned to deal with their loss. None of them use the phrase moving on, but have learned to incorporate their loss into their lives. Monica and Heidi are both happily married with families. Karen is an accomplished social worker.
And I'm proud to say that I really feel like I incorporated a lot of who he was actually into who I am today.
God sent me his angel that day, and he took him away because he needed him for a higher calling. But he gave me the strength to do this and survive this nightmare.
Now all three women are helping others, writing for the new book, Surviving Sudden Loss, stories of those who have lived it.
These stories are basically can serve as a role model for people who have just lost somebody in any type of incident.
The worst thing that people can say that I found for myself was, move on. It's okay to move on.
It makes a difference to anyone else to hear that they can actually get through a painful loss, a sudden, tragic, traumatic loss, and that they will actually survive.
Heather Nauert, Fox 5 News.